All right, so I'm just making this video, just kind of just yap, just trying to get some thoughts out. This is not really anything scripted or anything that I took a lot of time in. Just kind of wanted to talk, just kind of get my thoughts out there. It might be a new coping strategy for me, or at least help just get some of my thoughts out of the way. And yes, I know I'm recording out of the left eye socket, and it's kind of at a low quality. I don't know why I'm recording out of the left eye socket, and there was no audio with this, so I just decided to do. This instead. But kind of just wanted to talk about me being just nervous in school and just life in general. A lot of stuff has come out recently with me with a lot more is being expected of me, and a lot of stuff with school and how I'm going to expect to be more of a consistent, player in team groups and stuff like that. And as someone being more of an individual, it's kind of hard understanding that as someone who's kind of had to rely on themselves for a while. So, it's just been wild for the past couple weeks trying to process, not only am I going to have to be more influential within a group setting and stuff like that, as I get deeper into college and whenever, a lot more of my assignments and classes are more crucial than they originally were. So it's kind of weird, not weird, but it's just kind of scary. It's just a lot of my courses require books that are hundreds of pages long, which I'm used to. I took college classes of similar types in high school. It's just they mean a lot more now. You know what I mean? It means everything. It means my whole education. It means my ability to succeed. And I don't want to retake classes, so it's just kind of a daunting thing. I bet some of you, all the 20-30 people that will watch this video, have probably thought the same thing if you're in a similar situation as me. But just it's something that has been on my mind a lot, and that, and kind of going into my next topic, is more what's expected of me. Because before, in my previous classes, it was there's nothing wrong with maybe taking a day or two off to kind of just chill for a bit. But now I'm taking 3 psych classes, and in a psych lab to go along with it. So that takes up majority of my week just by themselves, and I have 3 more classes to worry about, So whenever I kind of think about it, it's just what's going on? Not what's going on, but how am I going to succeed? How am I going to do this? How am I going to manage my time better than I've already managed it? What do I need to switch up? What do I need to change? What do I need to cut out of my daily regimen and stuff like that? And I know a lot of adults will look at this and be like, "Oh, dude, you just don't know how to manage your time correctly. You're just finally becoming an adult, or realizing what it means to be an adult." And I understand their arguments, and they're completely valid. But I think personally, it's more it's a newfound stress that I've found, and I think it's that it's kind of new to me, and it's made my brain go into a twirl, made everything kind of swirl around and make me nervous and self-conscious and stuff like that. Kind of going with that, it's just I guess just soul searching. I guess it sounds kind of weird to say it out loud, but it's is this really what I want to do? Psychology? Do I really want to be a psychologist? And, I'm getting my minor in kinesiology, and I really want to be a sports psychologist. I'm a big hockey guy, so I want to work for my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Go Pens. But, you have this, I found out that you have this vision of what you want to do, and it sounds so easy, and the process of it is, it's okay, I'm going to do this, I want to go to school, I'm going to get my bachelor's degree, and then I'm going to get my master's, and then I'm going to go get my PhD, and then I'm going to go and, work for my favorite team, or do this that I really want to do, or do that, or whatever. But I found out that it's not really as hard, or not hard, but it's not really as easy as you can talk about it. And I know that's like it's easier said than done and whatever, but it really is easier said than done. But I didn't think it'd be that daunting on my brain. Because, I think about, well, how am I going to pay for master's? How am I going to pay for PhD? And what am I going to do in between the years of getting my master's and PhD, if that's a thing? What if this doesn't work out? What if this isn't what I want to do? What if I turn out to be a YouTuber for the next all of my life? And, I don't want to waste anybody's time or money or advancement. So, why would I want to even do this if, I don't know all the possibilities? And I've thought about that a lot recently, and I've kind of figured out that I can't be afraid, but I want to. I don't know how to pronounce, not pronounce it. I don't know how to describe it other than that. I want to be afraid, but I know I can't. I know that I'm afraid of the unknown happening, but in the back of my head, I know that I can't be afraid of the unknown, because the unknown is the unknown, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just things happen sometimes. Life changes. Sometimes God takes you on a different course in life. Sometimes you're meant to do something bigger than yourself or smaller than you think. Or, maybe things just don't work out. And, that it kind of makes me sad, because I want to do more. I want to be more than just some random kid in a small area that works in a small place or whatever. I want to be more than that. I want to be big. I want my name to mean something. And I want my years in college to reflect that. I want my years of education and service and whatever to reflect my efforts. And I think a lot of people share the same type of want and need too. It's just, getting to that point where that it actually means something, and putting in that effort is what's hard. And to some people that's normal, because, the things you want that are big in your dreams, they require effort. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with, putting in the effort to do big things that I want to do in order to succeed. It's just everything, if you don't get it initially, if you don't understand the task ahead of you and kind of reflect and put out a plan initially, beyond saying that you want to do this and that with school or whatever, it seems like a huge task that's almost impossible to some. And I'm glad that I have more resources than are available to some people with education, counseling, with my university and career coaching, and my father to help me, and just friends around me. And I know a lot of other people don't get that, and it kind of makes me feel privileged, and it makes me feel like I'm just doing better just because I'm just doing better just because of the things I'm given, which is why I say I'm privileged. But I don't, not only does that sit in the back of my brain, it's also like, oh man, I have all these advantages over people. I don't want to waste them. I don't want to waste people's time and effort and my own privileges that people have gotten for me and worked their ass off in order to give me, and then make it all seem like nothing and disappoint my family and friends. You know what I mean? I know some people will look at that and just think that I'm just yelling at the walls with this, but it kind of means a lot to me, a little bit, because I think about it a lot. I think about my future a lot. I think about my future in many different ways, on how I'm going to do something, when I'm going to do something, how that's going to be accomplished, if that's going to be accomplished, what are the risks, what are the factors and everything. A lot of people would think I'm just overreacting, but I like to think that I'm just future prepping or something like that. But yeah, a lot of things like that kind of daint on my mind. I know this whole video is pretty much just me rambling and yapping and not making sense and voice cracking and shouting out incomplete sentences and just saying like a lot and other things. And, that's the point of it not being scripted. I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out there. I know a lot of people don't look at these types of videos on YouTube or even watch them. I think for me personally, it's more of just a way to escape, from the real life expectations and conversations and social norms just for a bit. And I know why, and I know a lot of people kind of use YouTube for that too, just to kind of escape. And I know some of us abuse it. I know I'm very guilty of that, but it's kind of the same thing with video games. We kind of use it just to escape. And I know a lot of people, especially my age, recently use it to escape reality because as days go by, a lot of it seems more grim and a lot of us lose hope and whatever. But, I've kind of, especially in the most recent years, I've kind of turned back to faith and religion and God, kind of turned back to a devout Catholic. And, I find hope in the glory of God. And I know a lot of other people don't in my similar age range. And I do not pity these people. Well, I do, but I do wish they found truth in the Trinity. But see, this is the problem. I just yap. I just go on and go around about random things. But I guess I'll just finish my incoherent thought. A lot of people in my age range kind of just have lost hope, especially with trying to get an education and trying to even live. Housing prices go up, food prices go up, and, people find quick escapes like drugs or getting in gangs or, trying to find a violent way out of things that gets them that thrill, that high that's better than, working the 9 to 5 in a desk job or working at the local grocery store. And I completely understand it. I kind of hated life during the COVID years, Like, life was just kind of pitiful to me. I didn't find any purpose in it. Like, I know people kind of use this term a lot, but I genuinely believed in the, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. And recently I've kind of more formed it to, I want to be here for a long time, but I want it to be a good time for a long time. I want it to be something that's satisfying to me, that I know that I made an impact on people of all ranges and groups. And, I know my name might not be remembered by many, but I think that it's better to at least be remembered by one person that you had a heavy impact on instead of 20 that you barely talk to and then they forget you instantly. And I don't know. It's kind of depressing to kind of think about, like, being forgotten and having no faith in your future and thinking about the people in your age group that are, similar to your life situation and they've completely given up. And, I'm only 19, barely almost 20 years old. And talking about this it gets me depressed because it's like, I could be that person overnight one day because it doesn't take much to just completely give up on life. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to give up. I know it's so young. I'm so young. It's too early for me to give up. Like, I have so many more things I need to experience. It's what I was born and created to do, is to experience and use my free will to the most purest content and atone for the bad things I've done. And I know a lot of people don't have that same type of viewpoint on life, and that's completely okay. And I don't want to force any of this religion stuff on the people that watch this video, because I know people have different opinions and whatever, and that's completely valid. There's nothing wrong with having a different viewpoint and whatever. And, as much as I wish the world was kind of more turned to Christ, I understand that people have the will and the ability to choose for themselves, and that's completely okay because that's what we were born with. Anyway, I just don't want to not only disappoint myself, but I know a lot of people kind of are going to agree with me on this one especially, but I don't want to disappoint my dad. My mom's kind of almost out of the picture. She, divorced my dad a couple years ago, and she's had fights with me and my sister for almost, every year at this point. Every day is a new challenge with her, and I don't really rely as much as on her as I do my dad and my stepmom, But with that, I've gained a new part of my family, and I've understood, that there's more than just being yelled at by my mother, and that, I mean something, and then I'm not just here to be here, and I'm not just a servant to somebody that's my parent just because I'm the kid, right? So it's made me understand that I matter a lot more, especially, as a human being and as a son. My mom kind of was the reason why I kind of turned away from God, because I thought that, well, if my mother doesn't even love me, why could God ever love me? And it made me feel bad. But it wasn't just that. It was a bunch of other reasons that I don't have the time nor the need to talk about. But just... It was just a cooperating factor, but I'm just glad that things kind of went right in my life, and I'm kind of glad that I have these types of struggles, which is a weird thing to say because I just got done saying that they plague my mind at times, but what I mean by that is I'm glad that I have something to worry about. I'm glad that I have a family that cares about me, and I'm glad that I have a family that I have to worry about. I'm glad that I have goals that have risks, and I'm glad that those risks are challenging and constantly foreboding on my mind. As much as I hate the fact that they constantly clutter my senses and completely make me distressed at times, I'm glad I have something to at least look forward to, or something to challenge head on. I know many other people don't, and I think I'm lucky in that regard that I do. Anyway, sorry for the yap session. I know there's probably a bunch of YouTubers that do this type of thing, and many people probably make these types of videos that never get watched or anything. This video is just going to be up as something that kind of just peers into my mind a little bit. I know I said in the last video that I'd make more VR content. This is kind of like dipping into that. I made this like a couple months ago. But I've just had this video on the hard drive, so I said, well, may as well use this because I didn't have the time to play any other games. With school starting up and just work and whatever, like I said in the last video. So anyway, thank you all for at least watching the first couple seconds or minute of the video. I don't expect you all to look all the way through the almost 20 minutes of this or 21 minutes of this. You don't have to. Just even if you want to watch it for 5 minutes and kind of just understand what I'm talking about, that's more than appreciated. Any type of view or like or engagement, even if you dislike it and tell me that I'm a dumbass for putting this video out, I don't care. And get any engagement or any type of positivity is deeply appreciated. I appreciate all the love that you give through your likes and your views. I know I don't get a lot of comments, or likes or views for that matter, but even if I get one of them, that's more than enough for me, honestly. You're kind of making a dream of mine to make content, and just make content on the side and just make it something to do. It's kind of making a dream of mine come true, as many other people's dreams. I don't know, I'm just speaking into a wall. But you're making a dream of mine come true, and it's making me happy because it makes me feel like I'm actually doing something that I want to do for once. And I appreciate all of you for, at least just making me happy. That's all that matters to me. And I hope I made you, understand a bit more about me. You may not know me, some of you probably do, but, at least for the people that do, I hope I made you understand more about my mental state and what I think about daily and what's always on my mind. I hope I conjured a good picture of that for you. And for the people that don't, I don't know, I just hope you like it. Anyways, the game that I am playing is Tactical Assault VR. I know they're supposed to get a new update recently with a new LMG. I think it's the M240 Bravo, I think is the new LMG or whatever. Or the first LMG ever introduced into the game. It's an awesome game. I love this game. Please, Tactical Assault VR, sponsor me. But it's a pretty good game. You guys should try it on VR. It's like $10. It's a really good it's not great graphics. It's pretty mid-tier, but I think that's part of the appeal because the realistic physics and everything and the gun play is awesome. It's a really fun game to play with friends, especially. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and if you like this video, you leave a like, comment, whatever. But thank you.